Hi everyone, I'm attorney Aiden Durham with 180 Law Co. in Colorado. You are watching All Up in Your Business, where today we're going to talk about why trademarks matter. Like what the actual point and purpose of trademarks, trademark law, and trademark registration really is. And I'm pretty certain, I can pretty much guarantee that for at least most of you, the answer is not going to be exactly what you think it is. Before we get into all of that though, if you're new to All Up in Your Business, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. Click that little bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video. And make sure you check the description for links to additional information and resources, including a link to download my free trademark guide where you're going to learn all kinds of cool stuff about trademarks and trademark registration. And while I am a lawyer, that does not mean I am your lawyer. The stuff I talk about in this video isn't a substitute for actual legal advice. If you need help with any legal situation, you should consult with a lawyer who's licensed in your state. So I'm going to tell you a little story to help kind of illustrate and explain my whole point of this video about why trademarks matter. I've done a little bit of traveling in my time, international travel. I went to China a few years ago, been to a few other places. Most recently, I spent some time in Europe. I went to a handful of different countries in Europe and then popped over to Egypt for a few days as well. Being the trademark nerd that I am, one of my favorite things about traveling, especially internationally, is seeing trademarks that I'm familiar with in the US, but how different they often are overseas in other countries. Because in case you're not aware, brands, multinational, international brands often change their branding, change their trademarks in other countries to, fit with the demographic, fit in with whatever that market there will want to see or what appeals more with that demographic. And so what's really cool is that even though these trademarks look kind of different, they're still pretty recognizable, and it's still pretty easy to see what this product or this thing is. So for example, I was in China, and in my hotel mini bar, in my hotel room mini bar, I saw two cans. These two cans right here. One of them is a red can with some white script, some white writing on it, and the other is a green can with some writing as well and like an image of a lime or a lemon or something. Now keep in mind, I don't speak Mandarin Chinese. I can't read it at all. I have no idea what these cans actually say, but because of trademarks, and more specifically trade dress, which is kind of the trademark of how the packaging of a product or how a product itself looks. That's a type of trademark. Because of trademarks, I instantly knew that this red can with white writing on it was Coca-Cola. And I also instantly knew that that green can was a can of Sprite. Even though I couldn't read a single word on the product, because of trademarks and trade dress, specifically in this instance, I still knew exactly what these products were. I encountered something kind of similar when I was in Europe. I think I saw this in Amsterdam, but a store, I was walking around the city and saw a store called TK Maxx. Now, here in the US, we have a store called TJ Maxx. For certain legal reasons, I didn't research this completely, so I don't know if this is totally accurate, but TJ Maxx was going to be expanding into Europe, and I believe there was already a store that used TJ something. I think it was like TJ Hughes or something like that. And so to avoid trademark issues, to avoid confusion with that other TJ Hughes store, they used a different branding. They changed the name to TK Maxx in Europe. So if you're over in Europe, you're not going to see a TJ Maxx. You're going to see a TK Maxx. But the overall kind of branding, the design, the style of the logo is pretty much exactly the same as what we see on a TJ Maxx here. And when you go into the store, the kind of overall layout and what you would expect to see is very similar to what we see in a TJ Maxx. So even though the name is different, TK Maxx, it's still instantly recognizable that, wait, this is isn't this a TJ Maxx? And yes, of course it is. It's the same thing, pretty much. And then I counted this a lot when I went to Egypt because, you know, the language there is Arabic. The writing is in Arabic. Again, I don't read or understand a single bit of Arabic, but I was having lunch one day and I got a can set in front of me that I instantly recognized was a can of Pepsi. And then the guy that I was with, he ordered a drink that I instantly knew was 7-Up. Even though the writing on these cans is in a language and a text that I know nothing about, because of trademarks and again, trade dress here, it's still instantly recognizable exactly what these products are. I think I ran into, yeah, I have a photo. I ran into this display of chips, potato chips. How did I know that they were potato chips? Because even though, again, I can't read it, the overall packaging, the trade address of these products looks exactly like Lay's potato chips. So even though I can't read that it says Lay's, it may not even say Lay's, but it's, you know, visually identical to Lay's potato chips. So I know, oh, okay, here's a display full of all kinds of fun different flavors that we don't have in the US, but all kinds of different flavors and options for Lay's potato chips. So what does this all have to do with the point of this video? Why trademarks matter? A lot of people I work with, a lot of my clients, a lot of us think that trademarks are so I can prevent somebody else from using my business name or my logo. Or I want to make sure nobody can steal my business name or my logo. That's something I hear a lot when I'm talking to clients and potential clients. Why do you want to pursue this trademark registration? I want to make sure nobody can steal it from me. Or also, I want to make sure I'm not stepping on anyone's toes. I want to prevent, you know, limit the risk that I'm going to get some kind of a trademark infringement lawsuit against me if I'm you know, using a name or a logo that's similar to somebody else's. And those are all good, like valid reasons for trademark registration. But at their core, at their soul, what trademarks really are about is brand recognition and goodwill. And the reason that businesses go to so many steps, spend so much money on trademark registration and take protecting their trademarks so seriously isn't necessarily to make sure nobody can steal it, but more to protect the reputation and the goodwill and the recognition of their brand and their products or services. And so in that sense, trademarks and trademark law, it doesn't work just to help the business. Trademarks really are a two-way street. It helps the business protect their branding, their goodwill, their brand recognition and reputation. But it also, like I came to experience in my travels, it also helps protect us as the consumers, because we can see a trademark and we know what this product is. Even if we're in a different country and this product has like stuff written on it that we can't read, it doesn't matter. With good branding, we still know exactly what this product is. Let's say trademarks weren't a thing. Let's say like trademark law didn't exist. If I'm Coca-Cola, I'm the Coca-Cola company, but anybody can, you know, create a beverage or create a product and call it Coke. Me as the consumer, I might pick up a can of Coca-Cola from the Coca-Cola company and I drink it and I'm like, oh, this is delicious. I guess I'm a fan of Coca-Cola now. But if trademarks didn't exist and anybody could call their product Coke or Coca-Cola, I might then go into a different store, buy another can of Coca-Cola, thinking it's going to be the same as that first one that I bought. But what if it's not? What if it's total garbage? What if it tastes nothing like what I expected it would taste like? Then I wouldn't be inclined to buy Coke anymore. Why would I buy Coca-Cola when it could taste good or it could taste like hot garbage? That reputation no longer exists because now anybody can put out a product, call it whatever they want. And so this brand recognition isn't a thing. Why would I buy Coca-Cola? I'll try this thing called Pepsi. Maybe that's going to taste okay. Maybe I go buy another Pepsi, but that tastes like trash again. Trademarks help us as consumers because it lets us know what we're buying and that the thing we're buying is what we're expecting it to be. This, of course, then in turn helps the companies that own the trademarks. Because again, like I said, if we're in for a little surprise every time we buy a can of Coca-Cola, it might taste good, it may not taste good, then we're probably not going to be as inclined to purchase that product as consistently or as much as we normally would. Or we won't have the same kind of brand loyalty. There's, you know, a big division between people who love Coca-Cola versus people who love Pepsi. But if they didn't always taste the same, if Coca-Cola didn't always taste like Coca-Cola, then that brand loyalty, poof, it disappears. And of course, you know, this whole idea of trademarks, it's not just important for these huge, big companies, these multinational brands. The same kinds of benefits and the same purpose and why it matters applies to the rest of us little guys. My trademark, one of my trademarks is all up in your business, of course. And why I took steps to protect that trademark and to get a trademark registration for all up in your business is because I built an okay following of all of you wonderful folks on YouTube. If any other person, if some other like lawyer or even worse, non-lawyer started a YouTube channel or some other kind of like educational video series where they talked about trademarks or law or business law and they called it all up in your business, then you fine people might be out there looking for, oh, I saw this girl, Aiden, she's a lawyer. She makes these hilarious, really great, entertaining, but so informational videos about business law and helps us how to start a business and talks about trademarks and stuff. But so you go and type in all up in your business and up pops some other video from somebody else. And you might think, wait, is this, it's called all up in your business, so I guess this is the same thing, but it turns out it's some other person who maybe is just spouting a bunch of nonsense, maybe isn't a lawyer, doesn't know what they're talking about. That's now going to damage my reputation and the goodwill that I've built up with a lot of my subscribers, those of you who come to my channel because, from what I understand at least, which is so nice, you trust that what I'm talking about, the things I'm saying in my videos, is good, accurate information, which 99% of the time it is. Sometimes I misspeak or get things wrong, but for the most part, you guys know that, you know, you can trust what I'm saying, and you can, you know, you don't have to worry about if I'm just making up a bunch of bullshit. So trademarks aren't important just for all the big people. It's important for us little guys as well. That's the point of what I'm saying. So in the end, well, trademarks do, of course, you know, help us protect our business name or our logo, and it gives us some protection or rights in the case if somebody like tries to steal our name or logo or some other element of our branding. It does do that, but again, at its core, at its soul, at the heart of trademarks and trademark law, it's not about protecting or preventing theft of our business name or our logo. It's about protecting our business's reputation and the customer base and the brand loyalty that we hopefully try to acquire by putting out good products or good services. People will encounter our trademarks in the marketplace and they will say, hey, that's a recognizable brand. I know I like stuff from that brand, so I'm going to buy that stuff. And without that, you know, we might just go buy anything and there's no longer any well, without trademarks, everything would go crazy. Things would be wild. That's all for this episode, folks. If you learned a thing or two, go ahead and smash that like button. Really, really give it a good hard smash. And share this video with all of your friends and family. Share it on social media. Put it out there for others to enjoy. And of course, make sure you have subscribed if you haven't already, and click that little bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video. Be sure also to check the description for links to additional information and resources. You can find a link down there to download my free trademark guide if you want to learn more about trademarks and trademark law and trademark registration. But then of course, after you've clicked that link and downloaded my free guide, come on back here to YouTube because I've got another really good video all about trademarks and you can find it right here and I'll meet you over there. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Aiden Durham. This is All Up in Your Business and I will see you next time.